Andreas Morel, senior producer on Battlefield 5.
And what are some of the big announcements at E3 EA Play 2018 that DICE has made about the game?
So for us today, we're really kind of like showing you Battlefield 5's multiplayer for the first time, leading with Grand Operations, our new big experience in Battlefield 5, where you kind of get to take part in these massive airborne invasions, the kind of fight over several days, and really see some really unseen places that was major places in World War II.
And this isn't the first time that the series has gone to World War II. What have you learned from past experiences developing Battlefield games and games on and the DICE engines in the past that you've been able to bring some of those fun moments from the past in World War II that you guys are bringing back?
We know it's a huge fan favorite to go back to World War II. It also is for us. It's a real passion project for DICE to really go back to where it all started for us with 1942. So again, we are keeping an open mind, iterating on features. You can see kind of where we're heading. We're introducing a lot of new features like fortification, towing, just for that deep immersive gameplay that we know our fans love in the Battlefield sandbox.
And a major announcement at EA Play's press conference was the introduction of Battlefield Royale, your entrance into the Battle Royale. What have you folks been looking at for inspiration? Are there some other games that you looked at and you're like, no, we could do this better? Or because you guys had such a long experience of having these massive games to begin with, was that something that the moment you saw that mode, you're like, we could do that?
Again, I think you said it yourself. It's part of the core pillars of Battlefield, the sandbox experience with vehicles, team play, destruction, the epic scale. We see it as a very, very good fit, and we're excited to be able to share more news around this later on this year.
And talk about the vehicle combat. The games, your franchise is known for vehicle combat. What are some, just from the trailer, it looks like vehicles are going to be a big deal in this. What are some improvements or iterations that you guys have made?
So yeah, absolutely. Vehicles played a huge part in the Second World War, and we're really excited to be able to bring to life so many of these iconic vehicles like the Tiger I tank, the Stuka planes and all that. Some of the changes that we made is that you can no longer self-repair all the way up. You can only repair a certain amount as you're sitting in a tank just to balance it, and then of course the impact of attrition, scarcity of ammunition. You can't just sit on a hill and keep firing. You need to work with your team to really kind of work together as a unit.
Awesome. And when it comes to multiplayer, what kind of modes are you guys going to support, and what kind of sizes of parties? I know it's something in our community that we're very interested in, is how many people can we get in one instance of the game so we can have some fun?
So, of course, 64 players, Conquest is going to be there. We'll support the classic modes that we know our fans love, like Conquest, TDM, Domination. But with the introduction of Grand Operations, you're going to see a wide array of new 64-player modes sitting in this experience that Grand Operation is.
And at Shacknews, we really focus on tech and kind of being on the cutting edge of technology. Frostbite Engine is definitely that. What have these new consoles and also NVIDIA's tech with the 1080 Ti, what has that allowed for you folks to really make a beautiful game?
So again, like you're saying, working with Frostbite, having it optimized for Battlefield is something that really allows us to really push the deep immersion that we really want to go with this game. This will be World War II like you've never seen it before. It's a real drive within DICE to really take a new angle on it, both in terms of unplayed locations, but also in terms of visuals and the depth and the immersion in the world when you play with your soldiers.
I think when you folks announced the game originally on the reveal stream, there was some backlash about some characters in the story mode. Talk about the opportunity that you folks have to have a female protagonist in a story that takes place in a genre that's been male dominated.
So again, it's not the first time we have females in Battlefield. We had it in Battlefield 1 with the Russians. We had it in the war stories. We see Battlefield 5 as really everyone's Battlefield. No, in the past you've been able to pick if you want to be an assault or you want to be a pilot or a tanker. Now you can actually pick what do I look like on the battlefield? Do I want to be male? Do I want to be female? Do I want to customize my character to be more towards the historical sense, or do I want to kind of express my way in another way? It's there. Battlefield is a sandbox, and we're very, very proud that it's really everyone's Battlefield.
You know, this might be a silly question because we just were talking about technology and pushing the edges of it. Is there a way to bring Battlefield to the Nintendo Switch? It's a very possible. It's very popular. It's growing pretty rapidly. Is that something that you guys have thought about or even kicked around at the office?
So we'll be bringing Battlefield 5 on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.